June 12th here, the Obsession, Rush Outdoors, Wisconsin. Mike Stagler here, Carl behind the camera, Phil watching. So we're down on this bottom kill plot, which we've showed a ton at my place here. Put our corn in, that's where our flags are here. That's just starting to pop. Made basically a triangle for these deer to have to come up and around and see what's on each side of this plot. Stand east, west, and south side of this plot. Basically huntable at any wind. It should be anyway. This is one we try to stay out of till late October if we can, unless we catch something on camera. But anyway, today we're going to be putting in our buckwheat, which is actually going to be our cover crop for our brassicas and turnips that we put in August. So we're going to get that in today, get that growing up, and we're going to show you how that whole process goes. And then we got a water hole we're going to dig in, and then that's all we're going to do down here for today. Spray it, and then back up in the top. So check it out. We just got done putting that buckwheat in. You can put it right on top. You don't have to till that up or anything, and it will work its way in with the rain. We got rain coming, I think tomorrow, and I think it's supposed to blow up to like 96 degrees for a couple days, so that'll really help it going. Once we get that up, we'll come in here and run it over. Probably use a cultipacker, bend it over, break it off. That way all the new seed that we put on top of that will have like a little greenhouse kind of on top of it. Puts all of our pH back in the soil and helps everything grow up underneath it. So kind of showing you start to finish. We do this here, we do this on Carl's land too. So we'll show you the stages as we go. Now it's time to put a water hole in. Start digging, Carl.
Son of a bitch.
We just got done digging this water hole. This is a 40-gallon one. Carl likes to go with the bigger ones, but I don't want to dig that much today.
Neither
We're going
did
to
I.
start with this one down here and kind of see how it goes. It's pretty good size. I do have a pond that's just back behind me. This is kind of just a little extra. I'm hoping, you know, as they're kind of coming around back and forth. Directly behind me is my main stand also. So it would be nice to have like a 15-20 yard shot out of this plot once. I think of all the deer I've killed here have been almost 40 yards every time. So dug this in, we clean the dirt back up around it, we will seed back over top of this. And always remember, get your stick in there so you don't get a big bloated up squirrel laying in there dead. Yeah, this is what you want, something, you know, 2 inches around or bigger in your water hole, or you will get, you know, chipmunks, squirrels especially, will fall down in there, and they will die and they will blow it up. I had one last year. I had a stick in it, a little too rotten, so don't think it's too rotten. The stick broke. The stick was in there. The squirrel was in there dead too. So then the whole water hole was nasty, contaminated. And I did clean it out, and I never had another deer though go in that water hole. So, and that was the one we talked about pulling out.
Yeah.
So make sure you always got a stick in there. They don't care that it's there. We put a mock scrape here last year. This is just to the east of my little water hole we just dug in, stand right behind me. Never produced really, they didn't care, which you'd think I would have known better because for years they've come out of this chute here and made scrapes there and then down on the west end. So we're gonna move it, actually clean this up a little bit and hang it there where they always come out anyway. We had talked about putting one over there on the east side too because we have a stand, but I think we'll just try this one and see what happens. We don't want, you know, 500 of them. So we don't work this year here, move it down there next year.
Phil, here's a little test. You've been paying attention.
Here's a little test. Go test it.
So if you're going to hang a vine in this tree, which limb are you going to hang that off of? Because we know the deer are hanging right there.
Yeah, but you don't want to cover the trail.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You do?
Yep.
Right on the fucking trail?
You bet. You want them to have to run on that.
So which limb would you hang it on? Which on the tree? Where would you tie it?
Up here?
That's not too bad, but then we can't really shoot it, right?
True.
Yeah. But I get it.
We got this vine hung here. You can probably see the trail that they come off of here. I've had this property since 18. This has never changed, which is nice. This was kind of here. It's not like I did it. It's one of their natural routes that they came in. So we're gonna come back later and clean some of this up. So my stand is literally right here. So we do want to make this so that this is shootable.
What is that, 18, 15, 18 yards?
Yeah, both 17,
Yeah.
right around there. Had I cleaned this up 2 years ago this way, I would have killed the landlord right here. I didn't do it, and it cost me probably the biggest buck I would have ever killed. So don't forget to trim your stuff up, because it's pretty heartbreaking because a neighbor killed him with a gun. So clean it up now. Everything's green. Everything's the way it's going to be right now. You'd rather get this stuff away from you, not around you. So we'll show you that later. We're up here in the front plot now. We've been showing this from the start. Obviously woods right behind me. We're standing in our one green plot that we're going to put here. This will be a brassica plot that we're going to buckwheat again today. We got flagged off 3 separate plots that are going to come out into the corn. 3 separate areas, segregate the deer a little bit. We were just talking, I have an old stand right behind me that I've had here. We might actually leave it because it's going to be right on the edge of this green and the corn. So we'll think about that. We can hunt that a little different wind. But this is this edge too that we got to get cleaned up. You can see the rye that's all grown up in it, and there's clover in there. And we leave that. It's about a 4-wheeler width wide along the whole edge. But we want to clean this edge up, hang a separate mock scrape at each one of these small plots here so that we have them, you know, coming just to that. Otherwise they'll scrape up and down this whole line, which doesn't do us a lot of good. We want to get them in front of us. So kind of suck cleaning this up, but it needs to be cleaned up. It'll let this grow out here a little bit better too. And controlling the deer. We want them to go where we want them to go. Well, that and what's left in my boot, we could probably plant another acre.
All right.
You filming yet? Oh yeah.
Man. Well, we got that all seeded. We overseeded the hell out of it, but that's okay. So, like I said, that's going to be our cover crop. A little bit of it'll get in the corn, which we don't care because we'll be spraying our corn when it gets to be, you know, a couple feet high. Whatever, as high as it'll get that we can still drive over and spray. So, this is one. We got 2 more to do.
Inside corner.
Inside corner, baby. Inside corner. You don't like hunting an inside corner.
You got a yellow big corn next
What do
to
you
it.
think?
I think it's pretty good. See other little end plot here that we're putting in. This is a new one that we're going to try too this year. Down on the far west end of our big cornfield. Then we have one more to do in the center. So this is an edge too that we left. We've got some clover and stuff growing in it and just some grasses, a nice little area for them to travel. Got to clean this up, get a mock scrape hung in here. We have a stand location just down to my right here that we didn't put in yet. So corn will grow up, that'll be our barrier. There will be some bigger trees planted up. They won't quite make it to the end this year, but off to my left is a nice little path that I've let grow in. There's a lot of trees planted on each side of that are coming up, and they transition back and forth, up and back, you know, to that marsh over there and that piece of woods. So this is a nice little travel corridor for them. A lot of pictures of big deer here last year. One of them that we were after last year traveled this a lot. So.
And he made it through, didn't
And
he?
he did live. He is alive.
JJ.
Of course, he dropped his sheds on the neighbors. That was awesome. Thanks. Pretty heavy here.
Yeah, it is. How heavy is it, Mike?
It's probably 3 times more than what you need.
Well, they say 70 pounds an acre.
Yeah,
And we did, what, basically 2 acres today.
a couple acres,
So that's
100 pounds.
100 pounds.
So a little overseed ain't gonna hurt.
No.
You know, buckwheat's cheap for now.
For now.
And like I said, it's once we show this come up, it'll be really nice. You know, it's like making your own greenhouse for your brassicas to come in. So now it's just time, really, here. Let these grow, and
We'll spray these today.
yeah, we have to spray them yet today. We won't be back then on them again until August
It's a fact.
when we start putting the rest of the stuff in. So
Yep.
after this, we're going to reseed a little bit down at last one. We got a little bit left. And then get ready to put our mocks in. One on each of these. So the Krosky, we'll show you that.
Right on. Krosky, let her go.
That's again.
Just the same as you were.
God. So we're in these green plots here in this big field that we're putting in, that we just put the buckwheat in. 3 stand locations. We want to trim this overgrown stuff back and get our mock scrapes hung in here. Otherwise they'll just scrape wherever they want the whole time. So when you get your mock scrape in, make sure you can shoot it from your stand. We're just going to get those done today, so we got to clear some of this brush back along this edge, so it should be a real quick job.
It's a pretty long edge. That's good, Mike. That should open this up,
Open
don't
up
it?
a lot. Just hang it right there. Jump up there.
5-footer just dangling.
Yeah, just out in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, we can put it right there, but
That lemon a little high, you think, or what?
no, it's not very big, so you put weight on it, it's gonna
Oh.
dangle pretty low.
Yeah.
So we're up here in this corner stand. This is actually the east inside corner of this big cornfield plot that we have the 3 green plots in. So we just hinged one big limb here. We can probably shoot 3/4 of this plot. We're just gonna kind of get some cameras running here. You know, obviously not now, but in another month and a half, and kind of see the movement here, because we really can't put the mock scrape where we want it, and we're not sure if we want to move the stand a tree over so we can shoot out further. But we do have another stand right in the corner that we talked about earlier. I think we're going to hang a mock down there maybe, and just see what that works out to be. So we'll do that. I'm up in the corner of the same plot where we just showed that ladder stand. This is another real big entrance exit right behind me that comes out. Just in front of the camera there is going to be the edge of the corn where the green starts. So this stand used to face actually the other way. We swung it around, hung a mock scrape just to my left here, probably 15, 17 yards away. That's shootable. We got to take one more branch down, but it's kind of neat. It's a little plot, but 2 nice spots to hunt it actually. So we're going to leave this stand here, move the sticks around, and then move to the next.
So Mike's up in the stand off here beside me and moving the sticks back and forth, trying to figure out the best way to be able to get this stand safely. So this is the mock scrape we put in here. It's actually a vine we had on the other side of the property, so it already has deer scent on it, which will help promote the deer coming through this area to hit it even better, I guess. They're actually right here on one of their main corridors, staying along this tree line that Mike's designed along here, where access for us will be somewhat used in the evening, but more importantly, the deer will use this front edge. So this is 17 yards, 18 yards from the tree stand that Mike was just in, that we just showed you. So hopefully we'll get one of the big boys in here, and Mike, Phil, or myself will be able to take one out.
Down here, still in this big food plot. I know it's getting old, right? It's big. It's like 7 acres anyway. This is that far west end green brassica plot that we're going to put in. So we got our buckwheat in here today. The corn's already planted, obviously. Now straight back here behind me, we got a little group of cherry trees, which is where we're going to get ours. Just off to my left here is where we're going to hang this mock scrape. So we're going to clean up this edge, get this stand back here in this group of cherries, and then clean this other edge up over here.